No doubt the expectation builds at Punt Road. The excitement has hit fever pitch with the news that Patrick Smith has bought a membership ticket, has joined Caro, Andrew Bolt, Steve Price as the heavy hitters at Punt Road.
I think it's a bigger appointment than Ben Cousins was in '09. It's a big one.
Wayne Campbell's just trying to find a way that he can fit him in the coach's box this year now that some board. The Richmond assistant coach joins us to talk about the Tigers in 2011. G'day, Wayne.
G'day, Francis. G'day, Ox. Yeah, we made an announcement today that Francis is on board, and all the boys are jumping out of their skins.
Oh, Patrick Smith. What about that, Wayne? It's a big one. He's forever bagging your club, but now he's on board. It's great news.
No. Well, he probably spent a fair period of time bagging us, but no, he's changed. Probably the last 12 months, he's jumped on board. So
he's read the wind brilliantly. Exciting times, Wayne.
On a membership. Sorry, Francis.
Exciting times, it is. In all seriousness, the new facilities are up and running. I know you're sort of moving in there today. The season's just a couple of weeks away. It must be really exciting, genuinely.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, pre-seasons are long for no matter which club you're at, but. As we have for as long as I've been there, we've been moving venues. We've over my time, we've trained at Monash, and we've trained at Vic Park, and we've trained at Gosh's Paddock, and all over the place. And this pre-season's been no different. But part of that ends on Monday. We've had some stuff move in this week, but we actually officially move in Monday, hopefully, and then we take over. We take over the ground, I think, Monday as well. That won't be levelled out till for another 6 to 12 months, and all the cricket pitches taken out and made bigger and all that sort of stuff. But it's certainly been a long time coming, but very exciting with that, and also obviously with the season coming up in a couple of weeks' time.
Wayne, a lot of focus this pre-season has been on the debt and trying to eliminate a lot of it so that you can compete equally, in particular with your footy department in getting that to a level that is, really competitive against the big sides in the competition. And a lot has probably been forgotten about, the on-field stuff for the Tigers. Where is Richmond placed at the moment in your eyes? You've had a lot of retirements and delistings at the end of the last year. You had one early pick in Reece Conker, but whereabouts is the playing list right now?
Obviously last year we finished 15th or something like that. We had we won 6 games. We're looking to improve on that. So whether that means we win 8 games or whether we win 9 games or 7 games, probably like all clubs where we're at, we're looking at improvement and development. Sometimes that doesn't translate into wins. We'd like to think we're a fair way ahead in our game style and in the defence that Damien wants us to play from what we were this time last year. We've worked on it now for, whatever it is, 16 months as opposed to 4 months. So you would expect that the players we brought into the system last year have got a better knowledge of that. Also, it's just easier when you bring players into the club and there's 35 there who know the way you want to play. So Conker and Batchelor and Derricks and all these sort of guys, and along with Hooley and Miller and Grigg, are brought into a system where the blokes already know sort of pretty much the way we want to play. So it's made it a little bit easier from that, but we've still got to get out there and improve on the field.
Your midfield stocks are impressive, and we've known that for a while. And if Cochin sort of maintains his fitness, we've seen the quality that you've got there that could really be competitive. What about down back? It's Thursfield has been, he works hard and he's a good defender, but there aren't any monsters down there that you've got to combat the big forwards, the power forwards, in the way that the really successful clubs have got. Who are you looking to push through to help Cal Moore and Will Thursfield to be that sort of back six that could really dominate a contest?
Well, certainly in terms of the tools, it's Will Thursfield, Luke McGuan, and Alex Rance has been playing that sort of role as well the last couple of weeks, and his last couple of weeks have been really improved, and we've liked the way he's gone about it. So he's going to probably get another chance on the weekend against Adelaide, against a big guy, and I don't think Tippett will play, but maybe McKernan or someone like that. So. And then we've shored up our back. I mean, obviously Chris Newman and Brett DeLeo were down there last year, but Reece Conker, our first pick's been playing a bit down there across half-back as well. I know we're talking smaller one players now, and also our second pick, Jake Batchelor, has been probably as impressive as any of the new guys, just with his ability to come in and train and play at an AFL intensity. So there's a couple there that can play. We certainly, we'd love a big Ben Rutten or someone like that, I suppose, but we're looking to develop from within at the moment.
So does Conker play that half-back role? And if he's successful, I know it's only his first year, Wayne, but does that free DeLeo to go further up the ground again? Because we know that in the past, at times, he had to do everything, I know. He's had to play midfield, he's had to go, but he goes forward and he can take a mark and kick a goal as well. Are you maybe thinking to free him up through the middle again if you've got the reserves down back?
Certainly had those discussions at match committee, Francis. Yeah. I mean, he suffered in the first 3 or 4 years of his career of just he was so good that whenever we had a hole, he was the one that we put there.
You might have gone out there with a fire helmet on and a hose because he had to go and put out spot fires everywhere.
And pretty much wherever he went, he made the mistake of playing well when he went there. So it was fantastic last year. I think we settled him down the year before. Just in the midfield in the second half of the year, and he took to that. He's a bloody good player, so no matter where he plays, he's going to play well. And then, obviously, last year he really settled across half-back and was a real weapon for us with Newman when we improved a lot in the second half of the year. But certainly, Reece Conker, we've sort of slotted him in at half-back, but that's not to say he won't sort of play through the midfield as well. Batchelor's a genuine sort of rebounding defender, so if they become as good as what we think they will, certainly that might free up Brett to play.
Surely Conker can't play in the midfield. Your midfield, Wayne, if you look at it on paper, and you would have looked at it many times on paper, it's probably your strength. You've got Cochin, Martin, Foley, Delidio. They're probably your 4 standouts, and you've got all the other boys in there as well. You've got an embarrassment of riches, really. Are you going to be able to rotate them Collingwood style to maximise their time whilst they're in there?
Yeah, a lot of those guys you mentioned. I mean, Nathan Foles a bit older, I suppose, but they're still yet to prove themselves. Dustin obviously had an outstanding first year. Trent's into his 4th year now, but hasn't really had a good crack at it. So we think that in the future they're going to be a very, very good midfield. With the interchange rule now, you probably have to play your mids a bit more forward, a bit more back. So. That's probably what's happened to Reece Conker going back into the half-back line for a start, because we probably have got the other positions filled, but it's certainly a good way for him to be introduced into league footy as well. But they'll have to be a little bit more flexible than what we had them last year for sure.
What about young David Ashbury, the kid from North Ballarat? He's a tall bloke. There's no doubt about him. Is he coming on at the right pace, do you think? I know that you always say the bigger fellas take a little bit longer, but are you happy with his progress?
Yeah, couldn't be more pleased, Francis. He's probably the one I left out when we're talking about the big boys down back. And the guys I was talking about probably are looking at the more deeper, the full-back position, whereas Dave's a centre-half-back. He's just a really good young kid. Tall players take a little while to develop, but he's developed quicker than most, I reckon. Really mature, reads the play well, and he's going to be a real leader for us, and will hopefully hold up the centre-half-back position for a long period of time.
Give us a smoky, Wayne. Give us someone that we don't know much about that really has taken your eye over the pre-season.
Well, Damien's got Brad Helbig doing his lawns at his house at the moment. So when the coach picks you as your favourite, I reckon you're half a chance. So he was a guy we picked up at, I don't know whether it was pick 40 or 50 or
47,
something. 47, yep. Was he? Well done. So he's improved really quickly this pre-season and may get a chance early in the season.
You mentioned about the wins, whether you get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Are you looking at finals, or is that too presumptuous, or even you're not looking that far in front?
Oh, it just hasn't been mentioned, Dave. No, that hasn't even been mentioned. Haven't set targets for wins or anything like that.
Is that a concern, Wayne? Should you be aiming high? Is it almost taboo to talk about it, or is it just the policy that the club's taken?
No, I don't think so. We haven't spent a whole lot of time thinking about it, so I haven't really thought about it too much. Obviously, you want to improve. So, as I said, we won 6 games last year. You've got to win 12 to make finals, maybe 11, maybe 12. So, if we won, got to 10 at some stage, we get pretty excited, but we won't be too worried about that at this stage of the year.
It's been interesting the last couple of years, the opening night, the Friday night game, and of course it can't set the tone for the whole season, but it's been a pretty rough thing for the Tigers. I know it's a big night for the club, but the last couple of results have been pretty poor, and it's sort of set off a fairly poor run. Is there an extra sense of urgency this year to make sure that doesn't happen? And I don't mean just to winning the game does that, but to put on a performance which suggests that there's substance to the team? Yeah,
no doubt. It certainly set us back on our heels 2 years ago, in Terry's last year, when there was going to be pressure on anyway, and we got flogged the way we did, and Cuz did his hammy, and it just couldn't have been a worse result.
Yeah.
Whether that affected us 5 weeks later or not, I'm not too sure, but it certainly wasn't the right way to get off to the start of the year. Last year we didn't play well. That was, there were different reasons. We'd lost a lot of older players. We introduced a new game plan, young players, all that sort of stuff. So it certainly didn't set us back on our haunches like the year before did. But round one, it is only round one. It is only 4 points, and it is. That's not cliche, but it does have a bit bigger build up than what the rest of the games do. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter the result. Obviously, it does because it's the game of footy, and you want 4 points out of it. But it's no more important than round two, for sure.
Wayne, just two players. I mentioned Foley a moment ago. Are we going to see Nathan Foley back to that devastating form that we saw him, where he went in and got the footy and took the packs on and charged out of deep down and had the ball under the arm? We're going to see that again. And what about Tyrone Vickery also?
With Axel for sure. Yeah, he's only 26 or whatever he is. He's missed a lot of footy. It's been 18 months since he's played really, or had a good run at it. He's shown enough to suggest so far in the two or three games that he's played that he's still a very, very good player. It'll take him a little while to get back to those heights that you're talking about. But just the way he works and the ability that he's got, no doubt he's going to be a very good player for us. And Tyrone, probably. I mean, if you can come of age in a practice game, he did that a couple of weeks ago playing. It was only a practice game up at Alice Springs, but kicked 5 goals, 4, and had a couple more shots and against a good player in Carlisle. So and played pretty well last week as well, up at Shepparton in what wasn't a great performance by us. So he's going to play more forward. Angus Graham and Andrew Brown and Tom Derricks will fight it out for the ruck, and Ty will pinch it in the ruck as well. But certainly he's shown that he can. He showed at under 18 level he could play forward. And we'd seen it in little patches, I suppose, and we're still only seeing it in little patches to play forward, but we think he's got the ability to do it.
And the really important tactical decision, Patrick Smith in the coach's box alongside yourself, or Justin Leppage or Brendan Lay, where's he going to sit?
Well, in between those two, there's not going to be too much space. So he probably need to pull up a seat next to me, I would have thought.
Good idea, Wayne. Good luck with the season ahead.
Thanks, boys.
Wayne Campbell, Richmond assistant coach there, talking to us about the Tigers' prospects in 2011.
At iSelect, you can get health insurance and avoid paying extra tax. Just call 13 19 20 or go to iselect.com.au to compare, select and save.